Hey YouTube, what's up? This is 24K signing in. I want to talk about Monday Night Raw, the May 26, 2014 edition. It starts off with the Authority going into the ring, talking about the Daniel Bryan title situation, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But also, they call out Brad Maddox because they're pissed at him because he allowed Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose on last Monday Night's Raw to commentate, and eventually they interfered with the match and interfered with the Shield. So obviously they're going to be pissed. So then Kane comes out, tombstones and chokeslams Brad Maddox, and they fire Brad Maddox. So what I think they should do with Brad Maddox is just make him into a wrestler. Develop him as a wrestler, because we haven't really seen him wrestle too much, but I think he has potential. So the opening was alright. It seemed like the crowd really wasn't into it too much, but it was okay at best. Now, the first match of the night was, what was it? Cesaro versus RVD, and the crowd really got behind RVD as usual. All he needs to do is the RVD, and the crowd really gets into it. And the thing is that I like Cesaro. I think this guy definitely deserves a push, and I think he will be getting one. But I think the WWE is ruining his storyline a little bit. Now, is it a good thing that he's with Paul Heyman? Yes and no. Good in the aspect that he's most likely going to win at Payback. Bad in the aspect that the crowd isn't really getting behind him right now. So, eventually Cesaro is going to break away from Heyman, and the crowd will get behind him again. And notice how he doesn't do the swing anymore, or at least recently, and that's because the crowd really gets into that, and they don't want, and at least in my opinion, they don't want to necessarily turn Cesaro face just yet, because the more he does the swing, the more the crowd cheers for him. Now, you do have some wrestlers who are heels, but get pops from the crowd, like Bray Wyatt and Bad News Barrett. But for the most part, you don't. At least that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But, okay, so Cesaro won, but here's the thing. Even though he won via distraction again, because Barrett interfered and RVD got distracted, Cesaro won, and that was that. So, again, he's winning, but he's winning cheaply. I'd like to see him win in a more fair type of way. Hopefully that's the case at Payback. Okay, moving on. Oh yeah, and at the end, Sheamus comes out, bro kicks Cesaro. I like Sheamus, he's a good wrestler, but he's kind of boring. But he's not the most boring wrestler. At least he can get the crowd into it a little bit with his bro kicks and hitting the guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. But I don't know. I think they need to change him up a little bit. I think they need to turn him heel, in my opinion, and to just make him more exciting, make him a little more fresh. All right, so that was that. Oh, I like the part where Sheamus shook his hand in a sarcastic kind of way because Cesaro refused to shake his hand last Monday Night on Raw. And here's another thing that I noticed, that the WWE, Triple H, he said pay-per-view, a couple other people said pay-per-view, and if you notice that in past Raws where they had these pay-per-view events coming up, they didn't say pay-per-view. They were really promoting the WWE Network pretty heavily. Now, I didn't see them promote the WWE Network tonight. Maybe they did at least once. I might have been out of the room at the time. But I just thought that it was interesting how they mentioned pay-per-view when the past few weeks they've been kind of straying away from that. So that's just an interesting note that I've noticed for whatever reason. I don't know. But anyways, moving on. Eva Marie against Summer Rae. She wins via distraction. Fandango and Layla come out. They kiss like usual. That pisses off Summer Rae. Blah blah blah. It's kind of not that interesting for me. Whatever. Okay, moving on. You got El Torito versus Drew McIntyre. Another match, didn't do it for me. Boring for the most part. I like El Torito. I think he's very talented. Don't get me wrong. But, I don't know. Seems like the same old stuff going on week in and week out for the most part. They got to mix it up a little bit. Pretty boring. Even though it was a little funny. But it's getting a little old. So, but somehow El Torito beats Drew McIntyre. The funniest part of the match was when Hornswoggle yanked Torito's tail off after the match ended. That was funny. And you see a scene where the Los Matadores are putting the tail back on to El Torito. I thought that was pretty hilarious. Alright, so Wyatt's enter into the ring. They send a message to the crowd. I love the cell phone thing. That's awesome. Back in the day, people would use their lighters, but so it's a little less cool with the cell phones, but it's still kind of cool when the lights go out and the Wyatts go into the ring. And I love the Wyatt's music. It's great. Wyatt addresses the crowd, but for the most part, the crowds don't really get into it. And my thinking is this. I think there's mainly kids in the crowd because Cena got his biggest chance he's had in a long time, in my opinion, and the Wyatts barely got any cheers. And I don't know, I was thinking, do they pay off some people in the crowd here to root for Cena? You never know. Who knows? But I think Bray Wyatt's awesome on the mic. It was a great promo, and he's about to beat Jerry up. Well, first he beat JBL up, attacked him, and then he was about to beat Jerry Lawler up, but then all of a sudden John Cena goes into the ring as predicted, saves Jerry. You knew that they weren't going to do anything to Jerry. A couple of years ago he had a heart attack. I mean, he's done. He's absolutely done doing anything physically active in the ring. But their hero, John Cena, goes in the ring, saves Jerry, blah, blah, blah. Crowd goes crazy for Cena. And, yeah, whatever. I'm sick of Cena, alright? He's just flat out boring to me. I'm happy that he saved Jerry, because I like Jerry, and I think most fans do. See, this is the WWE's desperate attempt to get the fans behind Cena. They're going to do everything possible within their power to get the fans behind Cena, but the problem is, for the most part, it's going to backfire, even though it was well received tonight. Overall, it's not always going to be like that. They're going to make Bray Wyatt, and the Wyatt family to be as evil as possible, and in any way that they can think of to make them be more evil than the previous week, they're going to do it. But in the long run, it's going to backfire, in my opinion. Okay, and also the Usos go into the ring and come to Cena's aid as well. I like the Usos, but them teaming up with Cena, they're dropping down some notches, in my opinion. I don't like it. Okay. Rusev versus Ryder. Not even a match. Pointless. Last 2 seconds. Pins Ryder. Blah, blah, blah. Big E comes into the ring. Attacks Rusev, which was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was alright. Then he waves the flag around, which was good. Which was really good. Crowd got into it a little bit. I mean, anytime when you're in the U.S. and you have a wrestler waving the flag around, the crowd's going to cheer. I mean, that's a given. Alright, but overall, that was a pointless match. Rusev versus Ryder. Waste of time, in my opinion. Whatever. We get it. He's dominant. The best thing about him is Lana. Lana's good on the mic, but Rusev is boring. Okay. We got the Rhodes Brothers versus Randy Orton and Batista. For once, they had a match. Randy Orton and Batista had a match against different wrestlers. This was an okay... My voice cracked a little bit. Whatever. This was an okay match, but it wasn't anything special. They RKO'd Cody Rhodes twice. So, I mean, obviously, they're going to win after you get generally speaking, after someone gets RKO'd, they lose. But when someone gets RKO'd twice, yeah, they have no chance. And then it was announced that it was an elimination match, so it basically turned into a handicap match against Goldust, and Goldust just got completely dominated. He tried to fight back a little bit, but it was way too much for him. So that aspect of the match, making it into a handicap match and an elimination match, made it a little more exciting, but it wasn't great, wasn't bad, it was okay at best, in my opinion. Bo Dallas makes his debut. He didn't really get well received by the crowd. He got some cheers in there, but for the most part, people were silent or booing him. And he was against Sin Cara. This match lasted a few minutes. I think Sin Cara deserves a push. Even though I think Bo Dallas has potential to be good, I think Sin Cara deserves a push. I mean, Sin Cara is very athletic. I mean, they all are, but I mean, with all the flips he does and everything, like, he does a lot of moves that most of those wrestlers can't do with all those flips. Anyways, Bo Dallas wins his debut, and I don't know. I don't think he's boring, but he's kind of annoying on the mic. I don't know. I guess I'd rather have a character that's annoying than boring in some aspects. But it's like, believe, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I think it's a little corny, but whatever. He wins and shakes Sin Cara's hand at the end, which is kind of cool. But overall, like I said, I think this guy's kind of annoying with him running around the ring or outside of the ring. But whatever. I don't know. I think he has potential to be good, but I think the crowds, even though he's comes off as being a face, I think for the most part the crowd's just going to boo this guy or not react. But who knows? Alright, we have Stephanie Mcmahon, calls out Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan goes into the ring, gets a big pop, big ovation by the crowd, that, as expected. Yes, yes, yes. But here's the thing, he didn't surrender his title like I thought he would have. I mean, it's quite obvious that he has to, and he's going to. And why save it to payback? Why not just do it tonight? What a waste, in my opinion. I mean, he's going to be out for an extended period of time. He's going to be out for a few months. Why drag this thing on? Is it a ploy to get people to buy the pay-per-view event? Or watch it on the WWE network to get the network or something? I have no idea. Maybe it is. Most likely it is. Maybe it might increase viewership a little bit. But in my opinion, I don't think it would really make that big of a difference. Just get it over with tonight. I was looking forward to a really great moment tonight on Raw, and they wasted it. It's obvious that he's going to have to surrender it. If he doesn't, then Bray Wyatt gets fired. And that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. It's predictable. So why not just have him surrender it tonight? It made no sense, in my opinion. Oh well. Moving on. The best moment of the night, in my opinion, was Alicia Fox versus Emma. Emma won, which I was kind of surprised because she doesn't win very often. But it was great that she won. But then Alicia Fox just goes ballistic on her. She has another outburst, gives a wedgie to one of the workers there. I think camera guys or whatever. Rings the bell like 20 times. Gets soda from out under the ring. Sprays it in the camera guy's face. It was hilarious. I mean, it's great to see that a diva actually has some personality and that they're actually trying to be creative with some of these diva storylines, because for the most part their storylines are non-existent or boring. So Alicia Fox, it was hilarious to watch. She was hilarious to watch. That's the best moment of the night, her outburst there. I mean, like I said, for the most part these divas don't have any personality. And she's like, I'm a winner, I'm a winner. You just lost. But here's the thing, even though you may have just lost a match, your gimmick is winning. Part 2 coming up in a little bit.